he's responsible for it. Yeah. All right.
You gotta learn the tech, dude.
Yeah, I know. No, we all have different responsibilities.
That's
like
true. You know
I
your
have,
strengths.
I have the 2 cameras. I travel with the 2 cameras, the 2 tripods, the audio recorder, the mics, the cables. But he handles all the SD card bullshit and like transfers everything to the drive.
So it's equal responsibility if one person fucks it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. We have a good dynamic. We're both cheap, in our own ways.
That's good. Good being frugal and cheap.
Yeah.
Can y'all curse on this?
We can curse. Say whatever you want to say.
Dirty shit, piss, ass.
Yeah, get it out. Yeah, get it going. How you feeling? You just finished up the workout. You put us through. Brodie's not here yet, but there he is.
It's rare not to downplay my.
Oh God, it's like that.
He's like, it's the VIP seat.
You know I get left side.
All right, I don't have a side.
So I have a good side. It's the left side, so that's why.
Mine's are pretty shit either one, so it's all good.
Same.
No, the workout was sick. It's and I haven't, not to downplay my fiance, my buddy, but like, I don't really work out that often with like people who like are really into the gym. It's more of like either casual lifters, like my fiance or my buddy who's just kind of like working out, but like people who are like, oh, let's like try to like really, really, really push ourselves and like it's a different type of workout, so it's cool to have that. I was lifting heavier weight today than I normally would.
Yeah, now it's good.
Right.
I wanted you to. Cause I knew you had it.
And
hunters were easy.
And I kind of mentioned that to you. I was like, our strength difference is so sizable that he makes me look like a bitch, but that makes me go way harder. Yeah. So, yeah, he does make me look bad, but at the same time, he makes me look a little better.
I've always said you should like train with someone that's like stronger than you, or like when I was like early on doing a lot of deadlifts with my roommate at the time. It was always like he was better than me at bench and I was better than my deadlift, so we'd always push each other because it was like, I think having like friendly competition and like talking shit to your boys is just like a healthy way to like really elevate your like gym progress and motivation and like just pushing yourself in the gym.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, 100%. Again, it's just like you just get competitive, Whether you know it like or not, like you're like, all right, I know he's stronger, but you're still gonna push and try like not be a bitch.
I'm sure there's some stuff. Is there any stuff you're stronger than him at?
Bodyweight stuff. Anything bodyweight, I could do better than him. So
apparently the fastest man alive.
Muscle up. Okay. I'm the fastest man in Houston currently. Crazy. That is true. Thank you for bringing
We got to
up,
put that to the test at some point.
So we do have to race, and I've been saying that we're gonna make it a big deal. But you said you're fast as well.
See, what's funny is your confidence in sprinting is actually the same confidence that I have in sprinting, because everyone that I've like raced. Could be like Rob Lipset, Mike Thurston. I raced him. All my friends around here.
Yeah.
Everyone is like saying how they're gonna whoop me, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty fast, and then I beat all of them.
So you haven't lost yet?
I have not lost yet.
Right. Damn.
You know what else? Okay. You know what else I'm really, really confident at? Obstacle courses. Like if you're like scale that wall or do this obstacle course of like, climb this warp wall, then like climb this rope, and then do it. Like I'm like no problem, easy. If you're like get up something, I'm like a little monkey.
Yeah, that's what we were doing earlier.
Remind me so much of me. So like Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
I crush it, Ninja Warrior.
I say that all the time. I would absolutely whoop ass.
And I'm like, I even like when I see it, I'm more like, really, if I just like look at it, I don't even need to train for it. I think I can just look at it and be like, no, I think I would be way better than those other people.
Yeah, no, I have that same feeling when I look at the course and I'm watching.
And sometimes you watch Ninja Warrior and like people mess up on like the first one. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, God, I'd be so disappointed if.
How do they get that far? How do they get there? Do you just like sign up?
Yeah, I think you like apply, sign up, because they're looking for.
They're looking for a good story from you. That's about it.
Is there a story on Ninja Warrior?
When I used to watch it, they'd go through your background, like I went through this to get here. They're looking for a good story.
Do you know who Rob and Dana Lynn Bailey are?
Yes.
Flag nor fail?
Yes.
So I'm friends with them. They've been on the pod, so nothing but nice thing to say. But Dana Lynn Bailey went on Ninja Warrior, and the first obstacle was where it's like pad, and you like, and she like misstepped and like 2 pads in slipped on the first thing. I felt so bad. I was like, God. Especially because I'm like, as like a personality, you're like, oh, I'm gonna like really like want to show what I can do.
Right.
I'm sure it was like just a misstep. That's especially when you get too cocky. I mean, that's probably I would do. I'd go in there and be like, I'm gonna crush this. And just go to jump and miss and be like, I'm out.
Yeah. No,
go back home.
Yeah, you definitely overthink it. Like I feel like I could choke on the first thing too, just by something stupid.
That's the easy part. And like you mentioned earlier, you have really strong grip strength, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you'd probably do very well. Are you good with bodyweight stuff? Like,
Can you
knock out some muscle ups right now if you tried?
Actually, I just did a little muscle up competition with my friend the other day. Yeah, I mean, I can do a handful of them. Like,
yeah,
I'm just like a little monkey man, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't know that even climbing ropes, for example, I didn't know that that's like almost like a skill set. Like not everyone can just, if there's a rope hanging, like a rope climbing rope, if you're just like climb up that, like a lot of people who you think maybe are athletic or like they like don't know how to climb rope. And I'm like, but just climb it. Like we just grab and go up.
Yeah. This lack of childhood.
And like when I climb up, people are like, well, that's crazy. I'm like, no, it's just a rope. Like you just grab and go up. So.
But I feel like the same thing. Like you'll be surprised how many people can't do like pull-ups or as many as you think. You know, so I think it's like the same strength for the most part.
It's hard when you're guys like us just great at everything. You know,
just beasts.
Except for putting on muscle, I'm pretty good at pretty good at most things.
Except for being big, it's the only thing I'm not good at.
Nah, pretty much maxed out my size too. I mean, most of my frame was built in high school.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like when I was like 17, 18, that's where like I was probably like pretty similar in size. Now it's just maturity and definition and some strength. But
as someone I'm 34, about to be 35 in September, I've definitely been a believer of like the muscle maturity. Mm-hmm. Like I'm probably not as like shredded, but like everything's just more
dense.
Like it's like locked in. Like I'm like no, I'm like good, but I think a lot of people will because I've had like harsh conversations with myself, being like, this is essentially like pretty much what I'm gonna look like most of my life. I'm either gonna go down or get fatter, but I ain't my delts aren't gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Like it might fluctuate a little bit, but I'm more realistic with my progress now.
Yeah, you seem like you're like a realist, honestly.
Yes. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
After doing it I've been lifting for shit, like 13 years, 14 years. So I mean, if this is peak genetic potential for.
Not to cut you off, can we go ahead and for the audio listeners, can we go ahead and introduce him?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I have a question though, but let's introduce him.
Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, I usually do it. Go ahead.
Okay.
I want to hear him do it.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Thinking with a Pump. We are with Maxx Chewning.
That's me. What's up?
Introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, what you're about. This is an OG in the fitness space, okay, guys? I grew up watching him when I was like, late teens probably.
Yeah.
High school, huh?
Daily vlogging. When he joined Ghost, I was aware of it, like back in the day when it just started out, and I think I watched you train in like Virginia. Mm-hmm. You had your own lifting facility, then you packed up, moved here.
Followed the dream, man. But so I'm Max. What's up? Been doing this whole YouTube thing for a little over a decade now. Started in like 2013. Was big into like the powerlifting. I was really like into the competitive. I was never into like competitive powerlifting. I just happened to compete in powerlifting. I never like wanted to be like the most competitive person, but got known for a really heavy deadlift while not looking like I could deadlift a lot. That was like my thing, which is really interesting because people would talk shit to me over the years about how I look, right? About being skinny. But I'm always like, if I was never so skinny but could lift so much weight, like if I was jacked and could lift the same weight, I wouldn't have been as like popular, or like I wouldn't have maybe come up. So it was actually to my benefit. But I've been doing social media for a long time. Started the brand Sour Strips Candy a couple years ago, so that's kind of my biggest focus now. And so now I'm more in like the business side of things, but I still try to hold on to the social. And I've seen all the new waves of influencers, and the times change with the short form content and all these different apps and everything. So I've been very old man at the clouds of not adapting to it, but I'm stuck in my ways.
How does it feel to be an OG though? Like you kind of started it all,
It's
or you were there.
I like to think of myself
as
like
coming out.
Yeah, I'd say I was like phase like 2 or 3. I was like the second or third wave. There's the people kind of like before me in the social space were like the Steve Cook and Paige Hathaway and like the SHREDZ athletes were kind of like that tier of like influencers before there was influencers, and that was before like really YouTube. And then I came on the scene briefly after some of the OG YouTubers of Twin Muscle Workout, Chris Jones, Matt Ogus, Lovato, Nick Wright, Christian Guzman, and then I kind of came on like I got in early enough that I was still kind of in the locked in as like an early creator, which helped tremendously. But it's been cool over the years. I've seen a lot of people come and go. A lot of people that I started with, there's only like myself and Christian are one of the few that are really still making content who are like part of the OG people.
Right.
Chris Jones is still making content. Hodge Twins they've gone political, but very political.
Yeah.
But no, it's cool. And now you see like the next wave of like influencers, and you don't think it's gonna happen, but until it happens, because I would look up to like Steve Cook and stuff, but they probably saw us coming in and been like, oh, what are these kids with their fucking, they're filming their YouTube videos and day meetings, and then it becomes a thing, and then when TikTok came out, I was like, what was these short form content? That's stupid, and then it's like, oh shit, it's happening. Like this is the new wave.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So when did you originally get it started? Was it 2013?
Yeah, so I graduated college 2013, and then I got a corporate job right out of school. So I worked corporate for like first 3 years, and so I started YouTube right at the exact moment I finished school. Not because I was like timing that out, but one of the OGs, Nick Wright, who I watched on YouTube along with Matt Ogus and Christian Guzman actually. So I watched Christian before I was ever friends with him. My buddy Nick, or at the time it was my buddy, but I watched him. He happened to move to my town, and I kind of linked up with him when it was probably easier to link up with a social person. Back then it was more like, hey, I follow you online, you want to work out? And it's like, sure. Whereas now it probably, there's more layers to it, I guess.
Yeah.
So we worked out, then he was like, oh, you should get on YouTube too, because you have like a big deadlift. So I started making content around deadlifts, and then I balanced my job for the first 3 years while making I was making like 3 to 4 videos a week.
Jeez.
Yeah, but they were simpler.
Right.
Like it was like videos back then, people didn't want you talking about your life, about anything. It was, all the videos were like 6 to 8 minutes of, hey guys, welcome to my shoulder workout. So we started with 65s, and I'm really trying to go like more neutral grip on. It was just commentary.
Yeah.
And then slowly you'd put like drinking pre-workout in the car and talking a little bit. And then I remember getting almost people being like, dude, just show us the workout. Like, stop talking, right? It was, people just wanted workouts. And then slowly it just evolved into like showing what you did in your off days and showing your day of eatings. I did like 100 some full day of eating videos. It was like my shtick.
Yeah.
So, and then it just turned into vlogs, and now my content is, I'm still like in the fitness space, but all my videos, I'll have like a minute of fitness, and the rest is like,
right,
hey, I'm cleaning my gutters, my house.
Yeah,
like,
people are more curious about what you do later.
Because like they've seen everything. Like there's you can't really get, there's no tips really. Yeah. There's not like, you really want to, you retract your scapula when you're pulling your lat pull downs. Like all the information's out there. So now people are either looking for freaks of nature or something that's kind of like unique.
Yeah, it's all been done.
Yeah.
That's true. That's why I think a lot of people like entertainment now. Like the humor-based stuff and whatnot. They want to see something different, or just somebody who's like super genuine that just yaps.
Like Sam Solik.
Correct.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Just
well, I mean, he's a special breed that, again, it's like everything went this one way of vlogging and high production value, and then you can't predict something that's going to happen. Like a Sam Solik is like a prime example of, I mean, he is a freak of nature, but also it's like it's so unique, but he went back to making the videos that like we made way back in the day, just raw, not high production value, super low quality, but it's just like it just worked for him. And it's like sometimes that works, but like not everyone can replicate that.
Right. I don't think it works for everybody. Not everybody could just sit down in their kitchen and yap about the meal for 10 minutes.
No.
And then the clip finally changes. No cuts, nothing. He gets up to go into the fridge and there's no cutting, the audio stops.
I'd watch like super old videos of mine where I'd be like vlogging and I'd pull up to like a drive through and like the whole clip would keep running. I'd be like, and I'd be like, all right, now I'd go through the whole, it'd be like a minute and a half of me just ordering. And I'm watching it now. I'm like, oh, I would have cut that up and made all this stuff. Back then, I didn't think about what I was filming. I was just hit record and go. There was no, I'm gonna retake that. Oh, I'm gonna re-say what I said. I'm gonna say something different. There was none of that. It was just record. And now I couldn't do that if I tried. Like I couldn't just film a day and not think about what the next clip's gonna be or how clip's gonna end or think of a joke ahead of time. Like it was all more natty.
Was that before like you moved to Houston, or that was like OG days, like when you're still balancing a job?
Probably balancing the job those days, because then after a couple years, then I would start, then like Casey Neistat and stuff started popping off, so then I got kind of motivated to put a little more effort in the videos. I was like, oh, let me throw like a time lapse in there. Let me, film my feet walking while I'm going this clip, right? And I thought they were sick at the time, or I'd set my camera up and then I'd walk past it and stuff. So I'd get inspiration by kind of like trying to level up my content. And now that's why I really like keep making videos, because while they're not all like that, a lot of my videos will have, there's like a flow to it. It's, there's like establishing shots, and there's drone, and there's like music, and it's like you can tell that I like thought about this next scene that was going to come. It's not just like clip, render, right?
Yeah.
I sometimes do that, but it's because I like the creative outlet as much as I can. Like if I'm going to make a video about adding a bunch of lights and tiki torches to my backyard, I'm gonna like, okay, how do I make this really mundane, boring thing like interesting? Let me set up a couple different cameras. Let me like think of unique ways to get this shot, and like so it like keeps the creative juices flowing, and it keeps me entertained. It keeps me motivated to keep making videos.
Right. Do you think when you look back at your old videos, do you hate them, or do you think like, hey, that was where I started and I progressed?
I guess I look at them and I thought at the time, like, the shit that I was making was insane. Like, I'd make these little edits, and I'd be like, this is... Like, when I'm making it, I'm like, this is sick. And I look back now, and I'm like, that was ass, right?
Yep.
But at the time, also, the whole world thought it was sick. Like, all the viewers are like, bro, that edit was insane. And, like, your transitions are insane. Because it just, like, no one was really doing it. I mean, if you did anything that was above the baseline, you were like a god, and so now I look back and it was like pathetic. And then really Christian Guzman, one of my best buds, he really elevated like the content, because he was the first. I literally attribute the whole like workout because like before, when I would go to the gym, you'd watch montages that would just be like hard rock music or metal music, and it would be lifting clips, but it wasn't like cut to the music. It wasn't anything. And then Christian came along and had this like these montages that were just like really motivated. They were like timed out and had this crazy footage, and then he like made everyone like elevate their kind of games. And it was really kind of annoying for a while, because then you had to have a workout edit. It was like the workout edit era was a big part, and now people don't. There's no point in like having a videographer make these ridiculous edits that take 4 hours to put together a 1 minute montage, because it's just no one cares about it anymore.
Yeah.
Now people want like more raw, authentic, and it's cool to do like little things here and there, but
I don't know, it just got oversaturated again. Everyone's seen like all the best edits.
Yeah,
and
it's nice, because for a while everyone thought like everyone needs a videographer, everyone needs to have someone follow them around with a camera. And nowadays it's like it's almost, I like how it's kind of, that's how the thing about trends, like they come and they go, and like they come back around, and now we're going back into the more raw content type of thing, which is better for everyone involved, honestly, because it's more natural, organic. It's easier to film for the people making it, and then I still try to put in a little fluff here and there,
of course,
to make it cool.
Gotta be creative.
You were saying you worked a corporate job for 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you working in an office?
Yeah, cubicle.
Yeah. What were you doing?
I was doing IT staffing, so recruiting. So basically, it's like if Ghost was like, hey, we need a new social media manager, they would like pay our company to go find that social media manager, and then we would like take a cut of their like pay, right? So it was like we would hire people for other companies' jobs.
You were the guy sending those annoying emails.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was calling everyone, actually. That's how you would call. We called it like warm calling, because you're reaching out to people, and like especially now, no one likes getting random phone calls. But then it was kind of like, hey, I came across your resume that's out. Like, obviously you're looking for a job. Like, I have a job, that's why I'm calling you. So most people like wanted to talk to you when you called them. So it wasn't like you were having to convince them to talk to you. But yeah, it's like, so I started doing that job, and then doing social on the side. And I started my clothing brand, Everford Apparel, at the time. So I was balancing everything. But like my whole life was like just, I didn't have a girlfriend or anything. And I was just like YouTube. I loved it so much. So I was just like, I would just work during the day, and then every waking second after that or before that, it was working on the clothing or making videos. And I was putting out like 4 videos a week, so that's why whenever anyone's like, oh, I'd love to make YouTube videos, but like I have like a job, I don't have time. Like,
where's your stress capacity at then?
I didn't think, I loved it. Like,
you were just like constantly going.
I would wake up and have to be at the office at by 8, so I didn't have much time to do much before. But I'd maybe like print out some orders for Everford, which were like a handful. It was like 4 or 5 orders from the night before, and then because I'd in DC, I'd have to walk to like the metro and shit. So I'd go by the post office, drop the orders off, go to work, and then I'd be like kind of on social during work, honestly. And then like on my break, I'd I'd film some, because I wouldn't film at work, but I'd film like when I go to lunch. I'm like, oh, I can film what I'm eating for the video. And then after work, I'd be like, all right, let me change in the gym, in my gym attire. I'd film, and then I'd go back and edit the videos. And so I didn't really think about it. I was like, oh, I really like making videos. I want to make a lot of videos. Yeah. And you were seeing so much growth. No one was looking at like the analytics back then. It wasn't like, what is watch time? How do I get all this engagement? It was just, you put out content and you just knew that if you kept doing it, it just very slowly, you would just get more followers, get more subscribers. You weren't caring about, no videos were like popping off. It was just like consistent, and they would just slowly keep going up.
It was like a gym progress.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then if you collabs were huge back then, where nowadays they don't have as much of the impact. But I'd go collab with Christian and be in a video with him, and you'd gain 5, 10, 20,000 subscribers. That just doesn't happen anymore.
It used to be like that. You'd see someone like throw in and instantly blow up if like they collabed with the right guy.
So one of the biggest things that I did, 2014, me and my buddy, we drove to the Arnold Olympia in Ohio. I didn't have any plan on what I was doing. We just went there, and in that trip, I went up to Chris Jones, who I had never met before, watched him on videos, and he was like, oh, I watch your shit. And then he's like, we should get a lift in. And we lifted later that night, and he did a collab with me, and it blew my channel up. I managed to like meet up with Christian for the first time, did a video with him, and created. It was like this monumental trip that like these 2 collabs I did, just Christian and Chris Jones, I gained like 30,000 subscribers in like a week.
That's a lot.
It was and I only had like 20 at the time, so it was a big jump. I would like double my subscribers, and it's because there was only like 10 people that were making content, really. So it was like when one person would shout out someone else, it was just like, oh shit, someone else I can follow. Like they didn't know about us. Whereas now there's 800 million people, so you really got to stand out. Back then it was like, oh, one more person I can watch their workout, because there's only like 6 other people that were making videos.
How times changed. But also you were just a good character too. Because
you
were different. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, Christian has his personality.
Yeah, everyone had their
shtick. Has his thing, and you were like, you stood out too, where you were a good dynamic in that scene.
And for the earliest time, I thought you had to like lean into what your thing was. Like I was like, oh, I have to keep working this corporate job because I'm the guy that works corporate, and I'm relatable because I work corporate, right? So I was like, oh, I can never leave this. But everyone had their kind of shtick. It was like, Christian was the really jacked, like really aesthetic, good-looking dude, really motivational, right? Business savvy. I was like the kind of like down-to-earth, like skinny, goofy guy that people could relate to, but I was like, hey, really into like, it doesn't matter if you're smaller, like you can be strong as fuck. Like, so that was like my thing. And so everyone, like I said, there's only like 10 people that were really putting out content that it was in the space. So everyone had this like little thing about them that was like what gravitated the audience.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And what was the turning point where you were like, okay, I'm gonna quit my job and do this full time?
And what was that like too?
Yeah.
Like those like last final days, or like when you were gonna make that decision, I'm gonna put in my 2 weeks. Like, was it nerve wracking? Were you stressed?
I was dying inside, honestly.
Yeah.
So 2016 was when I quit, July 2016, and like a year or so before that, I had Christian and everyone telling me like, quit your job, and I was like, no. In my mind, I was like, if I can balance all of it. Why? Because I wasn't making much money for my job. I was like making like $40K working, corporate. So I was like, why would I give up this $40K if I can balance everything? Because I was like, I don't want to quit if I'm just gonna sleep in longer, or like I don't want more free time. I want to be able to do more stuff. So until I have the opportunities, I didn't want to quit. So I would balance everything, and I would use every waking second to just focus on content and travel when I could. And then basically what I did is for the final year of my job, I tracked in my notes app. I tracked like my income from the clothing, and when I say money was not flowing like it is today for the influencer world. Right. You'd be lucky. I mean, I was doing supplement sponsors where I would get $50 a month in like supplement credit, and I was like shouting out them in like every video. I would like put their logo on like the intro of my videos, and I would get $50 in store credit. But back then I was like, hell yeah, that's my protein for the month. Like, hell yeah. You'd make like $100. Like, the money was not in the industry like it was. So it wasn't like I was making money hand over fist, but I was doing well. And I tracked my finances for like a year. And after I told myself, when I looked back and been like, okay, there's only like a 5% up and down fluctuation. It's very consistent. It wasn't this like at a crazy month and a terrible month, crazy month. I was just kind of like, I have some money saved up. I'm making consistent money. There's opportunities. I want to travel and like expand my content. I'm growing. So like now's the time. And that was the exact moment that I also started opening my own gym with my buddies so I could film content and make even more videos. So then I was able to fill all the time of my day job with renovating this gym, District Barbell, with my friends. So all my time went into that gym right after. So there was never like a down period of
the last thing you wanted was like to be less productive. You wanted
to
make sure that you were
it wasn't just like, oh, I'm making a couple grand a month, I don't need this job anymore, now I can play video games and just make these videos because it's so easy. It was like I wanted to fill that time with something. Absolutely. I didn't want to just fuck off,
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's good.
That was the same thing with me when I was like ready to quit too. I was like, all right, like I got to make sure like like I'm on top of everything. I'm gonna start adding more to my plate. Like I'm going to travel more because like before all this, like I didn't really like traveling. I didn't ever care to go on a plane. I was pretty cool being in Jersey, traveling here and there, going out on the shore, going to New York and drive there, But traveling, I was like, especially with work too. You got to call out and then you got to be back and then anticipate getting back into work. And I was like, I like my routine, I like my gym, like you know what I mean, like your day to day. That was like one of the main things though. Like that was like super relatable. It was like, damn, like what's gonna fill up this 8 hours?
You have to. I see a lot of people that want to quit, but I'm just like, only if you're gonna use that time wisely and make more content. And I'm not saying you have to put the same workout, but maybe you're like, oh, I can chill a little bit because I'm making all this money and maybe I don't have to do this strenuous job or whatever I was doing. But I think it's this. Definitely take it from me, who's someone who's been in it for a while and seen the ebbs and flows of whether it be the money flowing in from like sponsors or just like your relevancy of popularity, right? Like you really think you're gonna be on top like forever. You're like, nah, I'll keep climbing forever, and it just doesn't happen like that.
Right.
And I've seen it all. I've experienced it, right? So now I'm a believer in it. So you like to the younger generation of influencers, like I'm all for it, but I'm like take advantage of this time that you're in, this period, like and like put in the fucking work, because if you don't, especially now, back then I kind of had an upper leg because there wasn't that many people. Now anyone with a phone can be a huge influencer, right? So like you got to take advantage of the time you have. Like if you're popping off and you're starting to do well, like, and now you have more time because you quit your job, like lean into it heavy, because it's not going to be like this all the time, even though you think it is. And it could be 10 years from now, but like during that 10 years, like maximize it. Or hopefully you don't, but like it could be 2 years that you're super crazy popular, you never know. So just maximize your time.
You see it more and more, obviously. I mean, just like so many people that replace you now. You have so much more competitions.
That's why it's good to be, you can't just be a jacked body or like really lean or in the fitness space, or you're really strong, because like there's always going to be someone that's stronger than you, always going to be someone that's more jacked than you that'll come out of left field. So like leaning into your personality and like what makes you unique on top of all the other things is like so important, because you want people came for my deadlift and stayed for my personality, which is great.
Yes.
Right. So
it makes sense.
Because I was always afraid. I was like, if I can't indefinitely get stronger, the deadlift, people aren't going to care anymore. Like I need to keep hitting PRs. But at a certain point, like I can't get stronger. Like it's going to hit this wall. So.
Damn, I was going to ask two different questions, but one I wanted to ask in the beginning too. Not to like, I don't know if you mentioned it already, and not to like put your age on that spot, but how old you say you were again?
I'm 34. I'll be 35 in September.
Ooh, okay.
So if you're gonna ask any old man questions, 9th.
Nice.
9989.
9998.
What?
That's crazy.
Oh shit.
That's
like
crazy.
That's a good. I've never been.
I remember to wish you happy birthday now.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
If you don't,
that's a good birthday. So you're 9998. I'm 9989.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're what month?
9998, September 9th, 1998.
You have the same ass birthday?
Yeah, just 10 years earlier.
Yeah. Yep. That's weird, dude. I had
cool.
a feeling. That's why I asked.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Weird.
That's serendipitous.
Yeah.
We were meant to hang out.
Yeah, seriously. Maybe.
But
what I was going to say though is that, you're at that age, Okay. I don't mean to say
no, lean into it. No, I'm fine.
Have you ever like considered like, because you're strong and you maintain a lot of good strength, a lot of good muscle. I'm not even lying to you, but like, have you ever considered like TRT or anything like that?
You know, for the longest time, I was like against it because I was more like, I would always say early on, before it kind of became more like mainstream in the past couple of years of its people casually, like now it's like fine for people to be like, yeah, I'm on TRT or whatever.
That's why, yeah.
For a long time, it was like, I almost wanted to make it my thing to be like, oh, I'm not taking any gear and I can still deadlift more than you. So that was like my thing. I was like, why? I was like, why would I take steroids if the people who are taking steroids are still not as strong as I am at the deadlift specifically?
Yeah.
So that was like my thing. And then I've always like, I think every guy or girl, but like guys specifically probably like, you know, be like, I wonder what I look like. I wonder like how jacked I'd get. Like, man, it'd be cooler to be more jacked. But I've always been someone, I've kind of been a pussy at like the side effects of stuff.
Yep.
Because you hear people, you know, whether it be just having bad experiences with it, maybe they get gyno or back knee or maybe hair loss or all these things. In my mind, I'm like, the moment I take steroids, all that shit will happen, all of it to me. Like, and I'll look like shit, and I won't. Good hair too. And I won't. Yeah, thank you, man. And I like won't get any. I would just assume that like it wouldn't work out well for me, so I was always just afraid of like the potential side effects of it. But for me now, I've got my testosterone like tested like not too long ago. I did a video on it where I went to like a clinic and I have like really good levels. And
oh hell yeah.
So I would be open to taking it if my doctor was like, not like, you're kind of sort of on the edge. We could give you a prescription, which is like pretty much what they do now. Of like, well, if you're not qualified, but here's what you do: just eat a bunch of food and then get really shitty sleep the night before, and come back in and test that next day, and you'll have terrible levels, and then we can diagnose you. Which is like literally what they tell you. This clinic.
They could jump like that?
Oh yeah, you can like mess your levels up by messing your sleep up the night before.
So like the best way to like get it checked is like to have the best sleep.
To get most accurate. But if you wanted to have like a bad reading to like be like, oh yeah, your test levels are bad, like there's ways to manipulate it to like be in your favor. And a lot of these clinics now, like that are like TRT clinics, they make their money in selling the thing. So they're not like trying to peddle it to everyone, but they're more like, yeah, we can, you know, you're on the edge, but like, you know,
get you there.
Yeah, we can get you there, kind of thing.
That's crazy.
So if a doctor was like, hey, you need to get on test because you're like dangerously low or like it's actually very low or whatever, sure, I'd take it. And then once I take like, I guess regular levels, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, just let me get a little extra in there. But I just don't really need it. Like,
yeah, no, 100%. I'm with you. I would probably get to the point where like I'd like, I don't know, have a hard time getting it up, and maybe I'm like, all right, that's where like
I think
that's where I'd shit my pants.
Yeah, and I think another thing that always was in the back of my head was, I felt like because I felt like it wouldn't do anything positive for me in my reach, right? Like I was like, I don't make money from my physique. I don't make money from all this. So it was like, if anything, I think it would be a detriment to my audience. Like I think they would have it wouldn't be like, oh, that's sick, you're getting so much more jacked. They'd be like, like you were like kind of like the relatable guy that was kind of the skinnier guy who's strong and like normal. So I actually thought it would not help me. So I think it would actually be a net negative to take steroids. Besides me potentially getting...
I could see that. Because you are like that relatable, like...
I try.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie. It would... I've always been like, man, it would be cooler if I was... Like, I'm 163. It'd be sick if I was, 15 pounds heavier of muscle. Like, I'm sure it'd be sick.
Like, I want to feel like what it's like to be 180 for once in my life.
And a lot of it, like my buddy David, his channel, How to Beast, one of my really good friends, he's on TRT, right? Open about it. And you can go back 2 years, and you can see him before he started, and he had a great physique then, but even just the TRT like transform him from like boy to man, and he looks like great now. Like it's just, he looks like more rugged, is like just the way the TRT like affected like whether it be his facial hair and the fullness of what it looks really good. I'm like, damn, like that was like a glow up. Like it looked really good. It wasn't like out of the ordinary, like super jacked. It was just like more of a man. I was like, oh fuck, maybe I could grow some facial hair if
maybe? Or like maybe he needed it. Maybe like he was lacking like.
I don't know, but like you can see the difference where you're like, oh damn, like you look good, bro. Like and not some like freaky way, you know, not like you didn't put on like you didn't. It's not blasting all this random shit. It's just TRT, you know, whatever the milligrams are. But
some people say there's a natural limit. Do you believe you're still putting on progress, or do you feel like you plateaued?
I think I'm at the. I think I've hit my. I think if I put my, it's kind of like when I stopped powerlifting. Like I stopped doing the deadlifts because like I was only enjoying powerlifting when I would hit PRs, right? I didn't really enjoy the process of training. I would just enjoy hitting PRs.
Right.
And when you get to the strength level at my body weight, like I had a 650-pound deadlift, right? Anyone who's lifted over 600 pounds knows like everyone can get to like 500. But when you hit that 600, it's like a fucking wall that like just, it gets real hard. And for me to go above 650 would require like, I can't miss sessions. I got to be really focused. I can't like go with my friends and like fuck off on the gym. I got to be like on my shit. And like, I have so much other stuff going on where I can't focus like I used to. So I don't think I'm able to put the dedication in to hit those new PRs. And the same thing goes with like, training is like the way that I lift and the way that I look. Yeah, I'd love it if I had some more muscle mass on me, but there's a lot more things that I care more about. I always say like life gains over gym gains, and you know, like let fitness like be a part of your life, not consume it to the point where like you're not doing other things because you're so like, no, I need to get my biceps bigger. There's a balance to it, and I'm really happy with that where I'm at, and now I like training just with my buddies and randomly. It doesn't have to be super serious, and I have a very maintainable physique right now. I'm not like having to eat my chicken and rice on the fucking plane and like, you know.
Yeah, that's how I am too. Like I always just say I'm just a gym bro. I'm not like I need to like go crazy to maintain this. Like this is pretty much like,
yeah, no, you look good, and like everyone like I think the fact that I'm like in my mid 30s and I think I look good. I'm not the most muscular dude in the world, but like, you know, unless you go to a day party from a gym event or something, most of the time when anywhere you go, you look better than 90% of the other fucking dudes that are out there, because as long as you're like moderately into fitness, you're gonna look fine.
Already be that 1%.
Yeah.
When you're out
and so it's just, I just like to live a healthy lifestyle. I like to have a lean physique. I like to like how I look. And I'm really like happy with where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I always take agility into like account too. Like I never want to get to the point where I'm too big I can't even move. You know what I mean? Like whenever I've done my bulks or anything like that, and it's minor, you know, nothing crazy. But like I don't know, I feel like the little things, like you be out of breath a little bit quicker. You feel less mobile.
As I get older, I'm trying to do more stuff. I think it was right before my 31st or 32nd birthday. I learned how to do a backflip, like on the ground.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I haven't done a standing ground backflip in probably close to a year now, but I was like, oh, I really want to do that. So I like learning new shit.
It's
when
been
I can.
a year
since I've done it on the ground backflip. Yeah.
Yeah, do it right now.
Hell no.
See if you still got it.
I would bust my fucking head open, bro. Yeah, I want to get back into it. I learned it in like 30 minutes. Like I went to a cheer gym, learned it, and then within an hour of like walking in there and not knowing how to do it, I went to the concrete outside in the parking lot and did just a backflip.
It's a confidence thing.
Can you do backflip?
Huh?
You look like it. Yeah, I was gonna.
Yeah. I do it in multiple videos just because somebody's gonna comment.
I need to like learn to. I need to practice like jumping higher, because like I see some people do it and it looks way cooler than I look. Like I'm trying really hard and I can do it.
Right.
But like some people can just like, they look like they're floating.
Right.
And I need to learn that. I need to learn how to like jump higher and float, because I'm like blacking out in the middle of it. Like, oh, I landed it.
yeah, I know what you mean.
You got to jump straight up and like let your body just know the movement. Do it in midair. A lot of people jump backwards, and that's where they screw up.
My goal was to always be like, I wanted to be able to be coming out of a bar at like 2 a.m. and in my like bar outfit, whatever I'm wearing out, just rip a backflip in the street. Like that's my confidence level I wanted to get at with a backflip. I never got to there, but I did my fair share on the ground. And I learned a gainer in the pool when I'm trying to master that.
That was cool. You actually just did one the other day.
I can't do the running one though. I need to learn the running.
What do you mean, running into the gainer?
Like a running gainer. I can just stand there and then like get off of a
I've never tried that. I did it one the other day off the boat.
Yeah.
But
the gainer?
Yeah, correct. It was into water though. That don't count. Yeah.
I can't do a gainer on the ground.
Yeah, hell no.
Those cool ones where they like can run and they like flip backwards.
Yeah, I seen someone do a stand and double backflip the other day.
That's crazy.
And
I've seen that online.
That's like maybe 10 people in the world could do
Oh
that.
yeah. And you watch them doing it, they're like just grabbing their knees and just so fast.
Yeah, you have to grab the knees, but there's a way to catch momentum for that second flip. Like you go, obviously, like backflips are sort of like physically easier than front flips because of like physics and whatnot and whatever. Science and shit. So you do the first flip, and if you tuck correctly, like, have you ever seen someone like jump off a cliff and like do like a quadruple, a 5-time backflip, whatever the hell? They pick up like speed,
There's
on their flips.
World. There's two things that I'm confident that will never happen in my life: me benching 405 and doing a double backflip on the ground.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's not gonna happen for me. But back to, I actually want to ask you something because you're big into deadlifting. You've always been a deadlifting guy. Do you think that like sumo deadlift specifically has evolved because like all of a sudden like kids coming out of the woodworks like deadlifting 900 pounds? Do you think there's like a new hack?
No, I just think that I think there's just a lot more people on social media now. That like you thought the bubble was like this, like only the people who were like in competitive powerlifters, but like I've always said, like however strong you think you are, there's some like 18-year-old that lifts twice a week that eats 30 grams of protein a day that can bench 450 for 10. It's like there's freaks out there. They're just not like freaks in a good way. That they're just not like apparent on social. You don't see them. So
that's true.
No, it's wild, man. Like I was like not to pat my own back, but like because there wasn't anyone on social. Like I was like really known as like the guy who could just deadlift a lot of fucking weight.
Yes.
And now at my old gym it's almost disrespectful. It's not. But like there was this guy, I think his name is Nabil, who at my old gym, District Barber, like the gym that I owned after I moved to Texas, he went and lifted there. The kid's like 145 pounds and lifted like 700 with my old weights.
On your platform?
Yeah, and I'm like, I was 165, like doing 650. This man's like 20 pounds lighter, lifting more, and I'm like, the fuck? Like,
I know.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, that shit happened to me when I was a kid. I was very competitive with my bench press. Like I told you, I grew up like my dad was big into benching, and I thought I was like strong as shit for my age, body weight.
You get
all
humbled
these
real
things.
quick.
Went on YouTube. Should have never done that. Guy like 3 years younger than me, half my weight.
Yeah.
Like everything working against me.
That's why it's
Bench
important
double.
to not like. I thought the deadlift was like my identity for so long, and like thank God. That's why I would deadlift in like every video because I was like, oh, I have to. I'm the deadlift guy. I need to hit PRs all the time.
Yep.
But if you make your whole identity your strength or your physique, there's only a short window of time because someone else who's all the things you can do, they can do it better, and they're better looking than you, and they can talk better than you, and they're funnier than you. Like they're better than you every way. Like so, you got to like really lean into like what makes you special, not just like a one-trick pony kind of thing.
Yep.
Very good point. I'm sure you get a lot of questions about it, but man, I want to hear what made you get the idea, hey, let me get into the candy scene and let's target it towards lifters.
So,
was that the game plan? Or?
No, the lift. So the whole premise behind Sour Strips was I'm a diehard candy lover.
I know that.
Like
I knew that.
Through and through since I've been a kid, like 10 years old, I just I eat like absurd amounts of candy, like specifically gummy candy, even more specifically sour gummy candy. Just for the longest time, just love sour candy. So it just kind of was, and like when I'd go to expos, if you go back and watch my videos of me at the Olympia or whatever, people would always like bring Christian energy drinks because he was the energy drink guy, and they'd bring me sour candy, like whether it be Sour Patch Kids or stuff from their country or their state that I've never had. And you can look at my videos and you can see behind me against like the wall, like the ghost poster that's there, you just see a mountain of sour candy. So people just brought me. I was like the candy guy. I was like very vocal about, and I was like, I just love sour candy. And then I got kind of inspired by Christian doing 3D. It was like that he was kind of doing something outside the norm. And then I went down this rabbit hole to figure out how you start a candy brand. And then when I launched it, I just happened to be in the fitness space. And now it's so interesting because whether we're at we could be at like a Gymshark event, we could be at any sort of event, we'll get people that have come up that haven't heard of the brand that are in the fitness space, and they're like, so is this like healthy candy? Is this protein? Like what is it, pre-workout? And then I'm like, no, it's just candy. Yeah. And they're almost like, so why are you here? Like what? And it's just like because I was in the fitness space, I just got it out to the fitness network at scale, and it was like almost like this thing that I didn't plan on that ended up being like the best thing ever, because I think if you can convince the fitness space to like accept candy as like a normal thing of like, I can balance this into my life and still have like a lean and healthy physique. I can use it as like for a benefit of a pre-workout like or intra-workout carb or like a quick pump before my session. Yep. And it has some benefits and like I can enjoy it and still be healthy, strong, whatever. Then I think that shows like the whole world that like, oh, maybe, I don't need to like gorge myself of candy, which I do sometimes on the weekends. Yeah. But, I can like fit it in there. So it's this weird thing that it just works, and it's so surreal because like we're in, not only we're in so many gyms, supplement stores, like we're in the corporate Gold's Gym chain, like the corporate stores, like who would have thought younger me being like, one day Gold's Gym is gonna start selling candy because I'm gonna come out with it and like popularize it in the fitness space, that like it'll be a common thing at Gold's Gym. Like what?
Yeah, that's actually insane.
I don't want to take all the credit for it, but it just like it wasn't like specifically planned, but I think being in the fitness space with candy is weirdly like the best industry that I could have launched it in.
I agree, because like there's no competition for you, because even at my gym, the gym I go to at home in Jersey, like all protein bars.
Yeah.
And there's sour strips.
Is there sour strips there?
Yeah, there's sour strips there. And it never really crossed my mind. It just to me, it's just normal now to see sour strips at gyms, because like I knew it came from you, and like most people probably don't even know that. Especially now with like the new generation coming up. But like for me, it just makes sense, and I think people getting into the gym now are just seeing sour strips first.
Yeah.
That's like the only candy in the gym, and they're like, all right, sour strips it is.
I mean, shit. Even at Alpha Elite, I built like a $8,000 like sour strips dedicated spot with like LEDs, like that whole space in the retail store with like, that's like a real expensive thing that like I put into there. And it's super, super cool. And your comment about like people not knowing me was always like the vision. And when you start a product, like that's actually like everyone's goal. No one wants to be the face of a brand forever. Like they want it to live and become bigger than them. Yeah. And that is cool. Sour strips has vastly, I don't know this data specifically, but I always say like I'd say 85% of our sales now are people who have no idea who I am, which is great. 100%. Which is like the goal.
You still have like one of the best, if not the best, packaging. That stands
Thanks, man.
I
appreciate that.
Like I mean that. Like
appreciate
it just stands
dude.
out as like a premium candy.
That's the goal. That's the goal, and that's what I'm so passionate about it, because like I built a brand of candy for like sour candy lovers by someone who's like a sour candy lover. So I built this brand that was like, what would I want in packaging? What would I look for in like the marketing? What would I catch my eye of like how the product is taste, the type of candy it is. So I just built something that like I would love as a candy fanatic. I'm not just like a business guru who had an idea of like a niche in the market I could get into, and it just happened to be candy. I'm like, no, I love candy. Love it.
Yeah. No, it's actually insane. What was the moment to like, I don't know how to ask this. Okay, so you created sour strips, right? You launched it, you made an Instagram.
On my 30th birthday, actually.
On your 30th birthday. Okay.
Nice.
And everything launch day kind of like sort of anticipated, or was it better than you expected?
So
like what I really want to get to is like, at what moment were you like, holy shit, like this is kind of like blowing up? Like,
every day, honestly, is
no shit.
It's so when I launched, I basically built up. So Christian did this thing called Project X, where it was like a week before. I don't know the exact time frame, but he like hyped up this with 3D. It's Project X, right? So then I kind of like leaned into that in like a humorous way. I was like, all right, I'm gonna come out with something, but I'm gonna do it Project XX, because 2X is my name, right? So I was like, same, but like it's not Project X. I'm not copying Christian. It's Project XX, right? It's even double X. And I hyped it up for like 7 months. I was like, I'm working on something's coming. And I started building this like list of, I was like, hey, if anyone who has a big following, if you're interested in this secret project, you want to be a part of the launch, like hit me up. And I built this like list of like 300 people that I launched it at. And my goal with the brand was like, it needs to, and I also like prepped my audience. I was kind of like, hey guys, I would never ask you to buy anything, right? But this is my 30th birthday. This is a product you're going to love. I'm telling you, I told him, I was like, you're going to love it. I was like, I need y'all to buy this for my birthday. I need you to blow this up. You're going to love it. If you ever want to support me. And I even told him the cost. I was like, the cost, including shipping, is going to be $25. I'm telling you 6 months ahead of time. If you've liked any of my videos over the years, I'm asking you to spend $25 on me. And I promise you're going to love what you're going to get.
Real.
So I was like, save up $25 the next like 6 months. Save up $25.
Yeah.
And because I was like, I need this launch to like be a big success, or else it's going to be a flop. It needs to sell out. And we launched 20,000 bags on launch, and it sold out in an hour.
Nice.
And then 1 month later, we restocked 20,000 bags, sold out in 30 minutes. Then 1 month later, we launched 20,000 bags again, and then it started getting a little slower. So it was like 3 hours. And then it started getting like a little slower. It was like a day, 2 days, and now we're just in stock. And then, which was fine. I knew the hype was going to die a little bit. So then we had this big popularity from like a social presence and like my audience and my network. And then COVID happened, which we couldn't expected. Right. And everyone was home, so everyone's on their phone. So the social started going up, and then everyone's ordering stuff to their house. So our sales were just going through the roof online, which if you were an online retailer, like everyone's sales were just crushing it in COVID. If you were in a store, it was terrible for you. But then we grew this huge popularity. And then when COVID started dying down, all the retail stores trying to get people to come back to their stores, so they were all like interested in new products. So that's when the Target and the Walmarts are starting to reach out to me because they found out about us because of our rise to success. Then we started going into stores right after COVID, and then it just never stopped. So, and now we're in like 17,000 doors, and it's been
stores.
Yeah,
17,000 in America.
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah, and we ship like
a lot of stores.
Yeah,
man.
And what's crazy is like we're just getting started. Like just convenience stores and grocery chains in America alone, there's like 250,000 stores that like between 200 and like 300,000, probably even slightly more if you count in like nutrition stores and gyms now. But like there's like 300-ish thousand stores that we could sell sour strips in, and we're in like 17,000. So the runway is still dramatic.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dramatic.
That's hype.
So it's a very surreal moment every time that I like get a new account or get a new order, and now we're starting to expand into like more products with the bites, which just came out, which we're super excited about. And
saw that. That's awesome.
But I also don't come from experience of like I built like a clothing brand. I built like I know social media, I know marketing, but I didn't know how to do distribution. I didn't know with the whole warehouse thing. I didn't know how to make barcodes. I didn't know how to talk to retailers. So I just learned it all.
I feel like you knew quality though. Like I remember if I remember correctly, like when you were like going back and like polishing it, you like wanted to make sure like the bags were nice, like the bagging, everything popped. It didn't just look like a crappy dollar store candy.
Yeah, I wanted to because I was like I couldn't sell it for I couldn't sell it for like a super cheap price because I can't compete on price with these Haribo, right? I can't compete with there's billion-dollar brands. So I knew it needed to be like $1 or $2 more expensive so I could support the company. But I also was like, all right, well, I'm going to make everything else about the bag and the candy like as premium as I can to justify it. So I'm going to make it resealable, and I'm going to make it a cool brand if that adds any value. But I mean, I had a million tweaks on the bag, which I had to pay like $1,000 every time I wanted to change the bag. But I would make like the first version of the bag had like the giant viewing window, and I was like, all right, let's make it 3 millimeters smaller because the candy when it sits in the bag there's a little empty space. Let me try to fill that void up, and then I'd change like another thing and I would just kept changing little tiny things because I thought I could improve the visuals of the bags like even just ever so slightly. And now we're at a really good place. But
that's awesome. That is so sick. Congrats on all that.
Thank you, man. We still got a long way to go, and I'm still learning a lot, and I still never like to think that I'm on top of the world because just like with the deadlift, there's always people brewing in the background that are coming for your title, right? Yeah. So I know we have a great product and a great brand, but I'm not naive to the fact that someone else who's hungrier than I am, that like if I start getting like lazy with the brand, then that's when someone else can kind of swoop in. But I'm super passionate about it, so that's why I'm confident in me sticking with it, because it's not just like something I do to make money. It's like something I'm passionate about that also supports a lot of people.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, does all the success and everything, how it's going, does it feel right? Like this is like, well, this I don't know, just feel.
Oh, I have imposter syndrome all the time.
Yeah.
Because like even when I was growing up, I was never like the guy that was crushing it at this. It was like when I was younger and me and my buddies were all skateboarding, right? Like I was decent, but there was always like my buddies that were like they were always better than I. Like I was never like the guy that was crushing it at something.
Yeah.
I was just like
that.
And so to have everyone now come up to me and be like, bro, sour strips, bro, like bro, it's so crazy and like a success. I'm always like it's like I'm new to it, and it's like so humbling, and it's cool. I have imposter syndrome a lot because I'm just like I just am a dude who like candy had a idea, not really sure what I'm doing, and just have been figuring it out. But I think it really is this full circle moment to my story of my audience that shows just like back in the day of here's a dude who worked corporate job, got out of college, was making a little bit of money, put himself on the internet, is a skinny guy, but showed that you could, still make it as you don't have to, feel bad if you don't have all this muscle mass, right? And then I'm just like, graduated college, lived a very normal life, didn't come from a bunch of money, and I like go back and look at my early videos and look at now. You can like I've worked and I've shown this entire process, so it really does show that anything is possible, right? And yeah, there's a lot of luck and right timing and getting in early and doing the right thing. But at the end of the day, like that's going to happen for every kind of generation. And I just took advantage of opportunities that were there and really worked for the past decade, And yeah, I had an audience to springboard launching this brand, but I spent 7 years building an audience to be able to easily launch a product, right? So it's like I put 7 years to then have the ease of launching a sour strips with a big audience, right, in a network, but spent 7 years building that audience to have it. So
True.
It shows that like if I can do it, anyone can do it.
You deserve every bit of it.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man.
And you're humble too about it, You're not like a dick.
I try. I try. And I also like I'm as I've evolved in life too, I try not to be like super in your face flashy with shit. Like I don't drive a bunch of supercars. I'm not like dripped out in fucking Rolexes and stuff, and nothing wrong with all of that, but It wasn't like I also like I've definitely leveled up my life, but people who've been following can see the slow progression. It wasn't like this as soon as I started having success, I like dramatically changed who I am and I'm better than everyone. I'm like, no, I'm just a fucking guy who had an idea and it worked out and I'm still working on it. And I still think everything can crash down at any moment, so I'm still living the scarcity mindset a little bit of like, oh shit, I need to keep hustling on this. Right. It's not like I can crush anything. I'm the best. Like, no.
That's so real.
I think you need that mindset. Because if he still has it, if Max still has it, then like I obviously have it because it's still early ages for me. I think you need that. I think
you
it's
have
really,
to, man.
Because like otherwise you just get complacent, get comfortable, whatever, and then like
someone else will come for the crown, like 100%, and like
life is long. When it comes to like this kind of stuff, like there's a lot of time for you to dip off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like life's like I don't know. Everyone says life is short, which it is when you look at it from one way. But when you look at it in like a social media or like business standpoint, like in so competitive, everything is super saturated. I just feel like there's a lot of time for shit to go bad too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're not on top of it and not thinking like, any day could be my day. Like you gotta keep fighting, type of thing.
You absolutely have to, and it's just important to stay humble and keep kind of hustling and keep working. And when the iron's hot, and if things are popping off for you, like lean into it and take advantage of any situation. But I think also I'm a huge believer in good things happen to good people. And so I hold myself very highly to my morals and ethics, and relationships are everything to me. So it would never be advantageous to like fuck over someone to make a buck, or like try to like level up your life by putting someone else kind of down, because like you get to a point where you're like, my goal is that in an honest way is that like anyone who meets me, has an interaction with me, has a business discussion with me, they're like when someone else talks to them about me, and they can probably be like, hey, he's weird as fuck, but like I want them to be like, he's a cool guy, like he's a good guy, and not like he's shady, he did some shit, I heard him talking behind my back. So I think it's just important to stay humble and also stay hungry.
Yeah. Wow.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
But
You
go ahead.
have a question? No, I have a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you have all the success and everything, and you have you just recently got engaged.
Yeah.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
We get married in October.
Oh shit.
And I used to watch a lot of your videos, so I was
single
gonna ask one
single
thing, and
max
now I'm
time.
gonna ask the second. This is I didn't know which one I wanted to get to first, but like I watched a lot of your videos, and on a lot of your videos prior to your relationship, you would always be like, "Oh, no one's ever gonna date me," like whatever, and no one's ever gonna date me, like, and you were like very like funny about it.
I leaned into the forever alone card. Yeah.
And then
me.
like when you found your person, like I don't know, like how what kind of transition in life was that for you, like?
This arc of like the character of Maxx on my YouTube videos, like you've really seen everything, right?
Yeah.
And especially because I was single for like 7-8 years.
Yep.
I never had like a serious relationship. Really, the entirety of my YouTube was single Maxx.
Right.
I had a girlfriend for the first like year. Then we broke up, but she didn't want to be on camera. So then for pretty much most of my career, it was a single Maxx, and then meeting Taylor, my fiance, and we've been together for 2.5 years. We get married in October, and
Congrats.
thank
by the
you.
way.
Yeah, and it made me a big believer of everything that I thought about the opposite sex. I've learned as I get older that like you take all the previous experiences and you think that the experiences that you had are exactly how all the future experiences are going to be, right? So if you've had, whether it be your heart broken or you've been talking to a girl and then you find out she's actually talking to a bunch of other people, or you're like you're always stressed, like maybe you're with a girl but like you're kind of like why do you like keep texting like this other guy, and there's like, don't worry about it, like you're being over jealous or whatever, but you're just kind of like, that doesn't feel right, like that doesn't feel like you don't just feel like maybe am I not enough, like what am I kind of doing, and you kind of think that is going to be like all of them because it happens maybe multiple times of just getting fucked over or something bad happening.
Bad apples.
And I'm not saying I'm a saint, right? But like
right.
it just, you're just like, God, man, like this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm a huge believer of like when you find that person, it's a beautiful thing, and you'll just know. And I was like writing off getting I was like I'm just gonna be the cool uncle, single guy forever, whatever. And I went on a lot of dates when I was single, and I would meet girls and have a great time, and they'd be gorgeous and cool, but I just like, nah, like I'm not, no relationship. I'd hang out with them once and be like, nah. And but when I met Taylor, it was like we went on a date, and we sat and we went to a Mexican restaurant, and we sat there 4 hours, which is a long time to be sitting at a restaurant with someone, and we just connected, and then we hung out 3 or 4 times that same week. And as soon as after that first week, really after that first date, I was just like, this is different. I deleted my dating apps. I basically like never sent any more like flirty text to any person even before we started like really dating.
Damn.
It was just like different, and and it's something that like you can only like experience when it's actually happening. And you're like, well, when am I going to meet this? Like, it just happens.
Butterflies.
It just happens. And I hype her up, and I hype her up a lot because she deserves it. And it's just a cool place to be, because I had this like perception of negative views on women, like of just, oh, they're all going to be shitty to me.
They're all going to hurt me.
And then it's like, but you'll meet someone that's like, they're not all shitty, right? It's just, you just happened to have some shitty hands for a bit, and I went like 7-8 years, and I think it adds to the arc of being like, okay, fucking single Maxx over here is, wrote off all girls, and now he's in like the happiest relationship. And it's growing up is an interesting thing, and you start like learning a lot of things and realizing stuff that how you thought your life was going to be, or what you thought everything was going to be like, dramatically changes very quickly, and you like kind of see it evolve in real time. And then when you get older, you start viewing the world, and you start seeing it happening to other people, and you can like see it like realizing it. That's how I say about the next generation of, you see the influencers come in, and you're like, oh shit, that's the younger versions of me or us, like, oh shit, like they're like, you see it happening, and it's cool. Getting old's weird, man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But hopefully you hustle in your
totally
20s, and then like your 30s, I gotta say this as a man, but like your 30s should be like your really golden years. Like 20s, I'm so glad. Not that I'm like glad that I was single, but I didn't have the, I don't want to say distraction of a relationship, but I was just so laser focused on work. I was just like building. And I think as long as you can do that, and yeah, you can find someone that helps you with that. I'm not talking about just the relationship part, but in your 20s, build, because you want your 30s to be able to like reap the rewards of the work that you put in your 20s. It's kind of like, you know, hey, invest, right? You know, so then in 30 years, all your money's going to be a whole lot more. And you don't realize that till it's happened, right? And I'm so thankful, and I didn't realize it in my 20s that like all this work that I'm doing now is really going to pay off because I'm putting in the work. It's really going to pay off in my 30s, and now it is. And you know, now I used to have to work sun up to sun down, right, nonstop, but now I'm more successful than ever. And at 7 o'clock, I can kind of detach and spend time with my fiance and like watch a movie like every single night and cook dinner, and I don't need to be like grinding into the wee hours because I built these systems and built, put my eggs in the right basket and built these things up. So it's just important to like strike while the iron's hot, and like while you're young and while you're popping and while you're making money, and because the social media money ain't gonna be coming forever. And to like, that's why it's important to build something that's bigger than you and to just invest and be smart with it. And it's like I even heard people telling me this when I was old and I was younger, and I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the fucking club, like whatever, right? But it's like important to have fun, but it's like, 20s. If I could have advice to anyone in their 20s, is especially if you're starting to have success in social media specifically, get that money, get that bag, don't be fucking dumb with it. Save it. Invest it into, whether it be invest stuff or like invest in yourself, your equipment, what you're doing. Be smart, don't be dumb and flashy. Do that when you're 30 plus, because you're gonna be like, man, I should have like maximized it more, take advantage of opportunities. And that's the old man wise Max advice.
That's good.
I mean, moral of the story too, man, you never give up. You gave up. You kept hunting for that girl. I mean, you said you went on multiple dates. You kept trying, even though you thought you were done for, you were doomed.
Yeah, and now I'm like, I mean, you think I'm a freaking simp with how much I talk about her and hype her up and say how amazing she is, because like I feel that way about her, right? It's not this like picture I'm trying to paint. If you met her, you'd hopefully feel the same way. And like, and it's like you don't think that these magical unicorns exist until you find one, right? And I think very early on, especially in the relationship phase, not saying write off all women, but if there's a red flag or something that you're like, hey, I don't like about this, and maybe first like talk to them and whatever, but like stay focused, right? Don't let someone like take advantage of you in terms of like, don't put up with a bunch of bullshit just because a girl's hot, right?
Yeah, true.
I'm not saying walk all over them and let them walk over you, but like,
you see it.
Don't get blinded by the hotness or whatever. It's like, look for like a good person, and it's there's differences.
That's good.
I mean, if you find the right person and you like, the
and hold on to
will
them,
come too. Though. Like, it's not all about like the exterior or initial look. Like, when you grow to love somebody, you'll find her attractive. Like,
and
even more and more. And
it should be even easier. And this applies to everyone, but I'm a dude, so like, focus on yourself, build like your everything you're doing, and then it'll almost get easier to find a better mate, because you're so focused that you're not desperate to maybe fall in love with the first girl that is a pretty face or something like that, right? You're more like, I'm so focused on this, and and hopefully it goes both ways, but someone needs to be an asset, not a liability, right? So a girl needs to be able to like, hey, here's the mission I'm on in life. Like, are you down to like help me go to this mission and us be like a team together and like elevate each other? And if you're not with that, then it's like not a good time for me. Like right now, like it's a pass, right? So if they're hating what you doing, calling what you're doing is stupid, like, why are you wasting your time with all this? It's kind of like, hey, you don't have my vision, like, and there's more complexity to it than that. But it's important to find someone who's like willing to help you on your mission, and it's also like, reciprocate as well to them and be supportive of everything that they're doing.
Of course. Damn.
So wise.
Yeah, no, you're killing it, man. I love it. That's awesome. And then my second thing I was gonna ask too is, with all the success, you know, and you're in your 30s now, like you were saying before, like wait until you're in your 30s to get cool stuff. You loved your SRT.
I did.
You did, and you
Big
traded
Jeep
in
guy.
for another Jeep, right? It's the Grand Wagon or some shit. I've
So
seen a lot more now. I don't know if that's what you still drive, but do you have like a dream car? And a dream car doesn't have to be a Lamborghini, like an SVJ.
I already have my dream car, dude. So I've been a Jeep fanatic my whole life. Like even like my uncle and shit. When I was I have like photos of me like this tall next to like a Jeep. I've been around Jeeps my whole life. And then my mom got me more into like the off-roading stuff. She was like a Jeep club. My first vehicle was a Jeep, which I put on like 42s and like 1-ton axles.
I've seen that picture.
And so I've been a Jeep fan my whole life. And then I sold the SRT actually because I kind of got in my head when I was like, I'm starting to be more successful. I should drive a nice fucking car, dude. Like this SRT is like 2015. It's a couple years old.
Yeah.
And I bought a 2021 Audi RS Q8. It's like a $130,000 car. Sick car.
You don't have it anymore, do you?
Oh no, I sold it after like a couple months because I was like, I bought it because I wanted people to like know I was successful, not because I really wanted it. And it was a cool car, but the reason I bought it was not because I wanted the car. It was because like, that's a sick car. People are going to respect me more as a business owner because I have a nice car, and they're going to see that I'm like doing well. Right. So I didn't like the headspace I was in. So I sold that and got another Jeep.
You knew you were in the wrong state of mind when you got it.
Yeah. And I just like I've just never really been a car guy. So I have a like a 22 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit Reserve, so a really nice Grand Cherokee. But then I have my dream car is actually this Wrangler that I have. So I have a.
You built a Wrangler. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have like the Lamborghini of Jeep Wranglers. So a lot of Jeeps you see are like built up, but like this one's done right. And it's hard to like really let someone understand like how sick this Jeep is unless someone's like really into Jeeps and like knows the details of what I'm talking about. But this is like. This Jeep is like the dream Jeep that I wish I could have built when I was – because I used to build Jeeps when I was like 16, 17, 18. Me and my buddies, like all I would do all day was I learned how to weld with my friends, and we were like pulling axles out and like going to junkyards and getting axles. And like all I wanted to do was work on Jeeps. All I wanted to do. And I built these big vehicles, but they were like junkyard parts and like just what I could afford. And this time I was like, all right, budget's off the table. Let's build the nicest parts, the sickest fucking Jeep that can handle the most extreme off-roading. And I built it, and it has a 6.4 liter SRT engine in it.
Yep.
So that's my dream car, is this Wrangler, and I'll have it till I die. I'll give it to my kids. Like it's gonna be like I'm gonna have this vehicle forever. And then I am getting a new, the new electric Jeep Wagoneer S, which is like their new. Kind of like their SRT, so it's a 3.4 0 to 60.
Ooh,
it's electric, which I'm not. I would prefer it be gas,
Yeah.
but we're gonna keep the current Jeep, give that one to my fiance, and then we'll have both.
Yeah.
But I'm a Jeep guy,
Yeah.
diehard Jeep guy.
Shit.
I love it.
I forgot you did that. Like, how was this? Like, everything is sick, and that thing can climb rocks right now.
Oh yeah, I built it right. I literally finished building it right when Sour Strips launched. Like 3 months after Sour Strips launched was when I kind of finished building it.
Perfect timing.
And then everything started getting crazy, and I never have taken it off road since. And I've beat the fuck out of my Jeeps in the past.
Yeah.
But this vehicle, I haven't actually taken off roading yet, and it's like a king Jeep. Like it's ready to handle the most extreme, black level trails. I just haven't had the time, and now in Texas, it's not as easy as the East Coast where I can drive like 2 hours to some mountains. So I got to figure that out. So it's definitely on my radar. But yeah, I think luxury cars and Lamborghinis and stuff, I think they're sick. Like I really do. But first of all, I would never buy a car. I'm an SUV guy. I just hate going down and feeling low to the ground. But also I have a lot of I'm really tied to Jeep because of it just brings back a lot of it brings back just my childhood. Like when I drive the big Jeep, or just Jeep in general as a brand, it makes me remember my whole era of life from from when I was 16 to 21 was working on cars with friends, and it was I loved that period of time in my life. It was just a cool part.
Nostalgic.
Yeah, so it's when I drive my Jeep, it reminds me of that. So it's a very nostalgic thing for me. So I think that's why I'm so brand loyal to it. But
I mean, it's cool. I mean,
never say never, but I don't think I'll ever probably buy a Lambo or something. I'll go in someone else's.
I wouldn't even expect that, honestly. And honestly, poor investment. Like, unless I was making like stupid money.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the maintenance. Like, you only drive them like a certain amount of miles, and then they're like worthless.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
It's like no, and then like one pothole, it's over. You know.
Yeah, and I'm also like not like a top speed guy. I'm a 0 to 60 kind of guy.
Same.
I just like
100%.
if I want to pass someone, I want to have the power to like pass someone really fast. Or if I want to get on the on ramp, I want that little burst of speed.
Yep.
But I don't care to go 130 miles, 140 miles an hour and die. You know, it's like
speed,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the car going 200 miles an hour doesn't entice me, right?
No.
So I don't also need a car to go that fast.
Like, where are you going?
But some people are really into cars. I'm just really into Jeeps.
No, I respect that. And that's honestly good. It's all American parts, too.
And
it's not like a pain in the ass if they get fixed.
How I knew Taylor was the one, she has a Jeep.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And
And she has a
coincidence.
white Jeep, which all my Jeeps have been white. So when I first, after our first date, like I walked her to her car and it was like a white Jeep. And I'm like,
No way.
what the fuck? What are the chances of this? What are the
After
chances?
the 4-hour date?
Yeah, after the 4-hour date, it was like,
Damn.
I was like, oh, and you have a Jeep? I was like, a white Jeep at that?
Yeah.
We're meant to be. You're
Perfect.
right. She's like part of the Jeep fam.
Yeah, that is sick.
Yeah.
Wow. The stars were aligned.
I know.
Good for you.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, no, honestly, you have such
Jealous.
good stories, man.
Hey,
Like,
thanks,
yeah.
man. My age, you know, I have so many tales.
Nah, I mean,
He got
yeah.
lore.
Like,
Yeah.
You have crazy dad
What's
lore.
crazy is like I've like filmed everything too, so it's like
That's true.
which I like because then people, you know, you can see the whole arc of everything I've ever done.
yeah.
So if you're ever like, oh, how did he get to this point in his life? Be like, well, you can watch it.
You get your life story
It's
out
like,
there.
hey guys, I have this idea for a candy brand. Hey, I'm launching the candy brand. Hey, here's the candy brand. Oh, we're getting into stores. All right, I'm gonna go stock the stores. Oh, I don't know how to. I'm stressed about getting this warehouse. Like everything I've done, I've like people have like seen it. So which is also like cool to shows that it's possible. And if you don't come from that experience, I just figured shit out, and I'm still figuring shit out, and I still don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
For a lot of this stuff, compared to a lot of like business folk that I talk with, and they're like throwing out all this lingo, and I'm like, yeah, I don't talk like that. I don't. I don't use that business acronym, you know, like. So
I don't know. Have you been to like invited to like billionaire parties or something? Like I don't know.
I've gotten schmoozed up a lot more than I ever thought, and it's wild. Like now that like Sour Strips is really successful, I'm in like the business circle of people where like they like, I feel like give me more respect. They're like I'm like on their level now, which I'm more like. That's why like I also don't really like that. I'm also like, I think everyone like doesn't matter whether you have this like. Could it be like a net worth or your business has to be doing this amount for people to be like, oh yeah, you're like you're an actual businessman, entrepreneur. I'm like,
Right.
But yeah, now I'm getting invited to like the other day, like my bank, which I just went switched over. That they're like, oh, we're going to this like McLaren event. You want to come to that, or like you want to come to this like these events. Hey, we're going out with this retailer. We're going like a golfing. Do you want to do this like event, or like hey, we have these sweet tickets to the Astros? And I'm like. What?
Yeah.
It's like I'm getting schmoozed up because they want my business or they want to like network with me, which I've just never been in that position before. So it's an interesting side of the table.
So you just say no?
Well, a lot of it I can't. A lot of it I just actually can't go go to, but some of them I go.
Yeah.
Now I get to go to like some fancy dinners and stuff where they're picking up the bill because they're trying to get me to get my business. I'm like, yeah, I'll take the 12-ounce fillet. Oh, you have the Wagyu? Okay, bring the Wagyu in here. No, I'm just kidding.
No. All the apps, man. The truffle
Yeah,
shit.
little truffle fries.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Get the oldest whiskey possible.
Yeah, get like some Pappies. What is it, like $200 for like a 2-ounce
No,
little shooter.
you're a strawberry margarita guy.
I love margaritas.
No, is it strawberry or mango?
Strabango, actually.
Strabango.
But which is your favorite? Strawberry or mango?
Well, I guess it'd be mango if strawberry and mango, but Strabango would be my go-to. That's why we came out with the Strabango margarita
That's his color.
ghost drink.
I've only been with. I joined May.
Yeah, so the Strabango margarita that's out now with Ghost was like my concoction of it, right? It used to have
That's
my
not your
face on it.
first collab with them, though.
No, I've done a bunch of stuff, but of
Yeah.
energy, that was my first energy drink was the Strabango,
Okay.
and it's like one of the top sellers, and that's why they brought it back. But
Did
but
you have your own pre?
yeah, I've done did mango margarita. So it was like pre and pump and everything, but I had mango margarita as a collab. Then we did strawberry daiquiri. Then we did sour pink lemonade. So all the sour pink lemonade powders. Like, so I was the first one to come out with the sour pink lemonade as my line.
Gotcha.
Because growing up, I was a diehard pink lemonade fan. Like Country Time, my mom would make it in like the jug all the time. So everything's very like authentic to like me, right? And then I'm like the Jeep guy, but I'm also like I like really lean into, I love frozen margaritas, and it's like a thing on my channel of just frozen margaritas, and I do this little like straw test, and I kind of have all these little quirks about margaritas, and people like associate me with frozen margaritas. so that's why we did like Strabango margarita as like the flavor, because it's just like, and mango margarita was like the first collab that we did, and it crushed it. And so I think just being authentic to yourself can have a lot of cool outputs, because like all the collabs I've done on a business level, it's not just like flavors I came up with. It's all stuff that's like, oh, mango margarita. Of course, Maxx came out with mango margarita. It's like, it's all this stuff that's like natural and organic. And I think it's like, that's what's really cool of just like leaning into yourself and your interests. And, you know, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I have like a goofy personality. I probably annoy a lot of people, but it's just like, I've tried toning it down over the years. I'm like, you know, I need to fucking, like, after 30, you can't be making jokes all the time. You can't be making that's what she said jokes after 30. That's just immature. And I've like tried, I've like gone through these phases where I'm like, I think I'm gonna try to like act more mature and just not be so goofy and be, you know, older guy. And I can't, like, I'm just like, I keep going back to this kind of goofy dude, and I'm just like, that's just who I am. So I just lean into it.
Embrace it.
This is me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I try to show people, I'm like, yeah, just if you're a goofy person and that's like your thing, just like lean into that and don't try to become, because for a long period of time, when like the Christian would do these motivational talks, you can go back on my YouTube channel, there's a whole era of, I would like set up the camera like after the gym and like the street light or something, and I'd like get these really serious like motivational talks about how like this can apply to gym in your life, of like following like this. Just it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Like it was coming from me.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's not how I should be delivering it. That just wasn't me, and it just, I felt like came off like disingenuous, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm the goofy guy, and I can still be motivational and like do all that, but I don't need to be like, guys, tonight at the gym, I just had this realization. You know, it's like that's not how I talk, right? Yeah. So I've just 13 years later, we're still just fucking annoying the internet.
Well, I mean, that's good. You're a perfect example of someone that's just stayed true to himself.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, base your online presence around that. And, yeah, you never was trying to be someone you're not. And look where you are now.
Look at me now, Mom.
Yeah.
Crushing.
That's good.
Hell yeah. No, that's awesome, man. I mean, I think there's one more thing I wanted to say, too.
No, I was going to ask. I see a lot of people commented, even on, like, new Ghost posts, when they bring in the sour strips back, the, like, energy. Or even it was limited edition, right?
I like the pump.
Yeah, the pump. I still have like
powder and energy. It was good, and people are asking for it, man.
Yeah, well, it's because we launched it. So we launched it on our birthday last year, which is also my birthday. So September 9th of last year, we came out with all the different stuff and the energy, and it was like a very long time coming. People have been asking for it forever, and we finally launched it, and then it sold out in a super short amount of time, which we were obviously hoping. But, you know, everyone probably can realize there's a lot of like red tape. Like, you know, Ghost does a lot of collaborations with a lot of these other big candy companies, and there's probably some red tape that are happening. So we're trying our best to kind of bring it back. And I'm not going to say a specific date, but if I was a guessing man, I think September might be a cool time for the stuff to come back. Not saying anything, but maybe that'd be cool. Wouldn't it be cool? Maybe some new stuff. I don't know.
There you go.
And the energy. Have y'all had the Starships energy?
I don't think he wasn't on the team yet.
Oh, send me y'all's address. I have some cases at the warehouse. I'll send y'all some.
Oh, hell yeah.
What? Yeah. No,
they're really good. I got one.
Oh yeah, I literally drink one every day. So when it launched, they sent me like 3 pallets of it, which is a stupid amount of energy drink.
Yeah,
so now I've just been like, myself and like my whole warehouse, like just daily, we just drink Starships energy drinks. We're down like the last layer, so it's like the perfect time to potentially bring it back. But yeah, I've literally probably had one of the Starships energies like 4 times a week for the past year.
That's awesome.
I had one today, this morning, actually.
Yeah.
Do you ever switch it up?
It's just so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. And I just have a fuck ton of them, so I'm like, I need to get through them.
Yeah.
No, I drink, I'm like a big energy drink fan. My morning starts is, I have like, my water, my greens, all that stuff and everything. But like my breakfast is like my favorite go-to is like a light thing. Is like, I don't drink coffee. I'm an energy drink, protein bar. That's like.
That's your breakfast?
That's my breakfast.
Okay.
That's my breakfast.
Solid. Yeah. Boy meal.
Yeah, it is a boy meal. Some people say that. I'm just like, I feel like protein bars are. It's because I don't like. I'm not gonna cook anything. I don't like hot food for breakfast. And before I'd either make oatmeal or like cereal because I just don't like. I'm not like hungry in the morning. Mm-hmm. So the protein bar is just like getting some food in me, get a little protein, and then energy is how I start my day. But like my favorite thing is that I'm very specific with it. I don't drink like an energy drink, and I'm not like on the way to the office. I crack it open and drink it. I'm like, no. I need to be sitting at my desk, about to start my work. All right, let's fucking go. Let's go, baby. Like it's like I gotta be like ready to start and then doing it. I can't be like just I need to chug an energy drink, get some energy. I want to enjoy the process of drinking it. So,
hell yeah, I don't chug an energy drink.
Get a routine.
Never.
Yeah. So every morning is a energy drink and a protein bar.
Hell yeah.
And then I get my Chick-fil-A 2 grilled sandwiches for lunch.
Yeah, you've been Chick-fil-A.
And then for dinner I make some stir fry, some ground turkey and veggies, and it's pretty much my day, and some protein shakes. And I'm a simple man. I can eat like the same shit every day, all day.
Yeah. No,
over and over again.
Like I said, I've watched a lot of his vlogs. I know that.
I used to eat Chipotle because when I lived like a block away from Chipotle. I would eat Chipotle like for like a year and a half. I ate Chipotle like 6 times a week, like just no problem.
If I had one close to me, I would.
I could still do it. I think it's so good.
Anytime I go there, I'll get 2 bowls every time I show up.
I feel so bad. So we make this like stir fry. Tonight we're not doing it. We make this stir fry, me and my fiance, and it's like sometimes she'll be like, "What do you want to do for dinner tonight?" And my go-to is just like, "I'll do stir fry again." I'm almost like, you tell me when you're like unable to have the same thing over and over again. Because I could eat it 5 times a week. Right. I can eat the same shit. I'm a creature of habit.
Yeah.
I like to do the same stuff.
Sounds like a good stir fry. It just sounds good. I'm sure you
I've
cook it up pretty well.
Perfected the stir fry. It's a 10 out of 10.
It's good. After doing it 4 times a week.
And you're getting a bunch of veggies in there. I'm getting like 65 grams of protein. It's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bunch of rice as well. I mean, it's covering all the bases.
Yeah.
It's filling, delicious, pretty cheap, high protein. Like getting veggies. I'm like, what more do I want?
How fast do you whip it up?
15 minutes.
Oh, nice. That's pretty good.
Tops.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's your go-to? What are you watching right now? What's your show?
Right now I just finished last night on episode 2 of The Boys new season.
Yes.
Season 4.
Thank God. I was like,
it's getting weird.
Oh, dude.
He said it's getting what?
It's getting weird, man.
Oh yeah.
The show's so weird.
It is very weird.
Wait to episode 4.
Yeah. I don't know. Episode 2 with the sauna with all the guys.
Oh yeah. That was actually crazy.
I was like,
they didn't have to hold the camera. Like they didn't have to display the screen. Like that scene did not have to be that long. We could have been fine with it being like,
human centipede type shit.
Yeah, but they had it on screen for like.
I mean, in season 3 seconds. Or no, is it? No, have you seen Gen V?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gen V.
Oh wait. He's
episode 3.
Yet.
A lot of penis in that show.
That's right.
And when I say, I'm talking like penis, like
yeah, you already knew that.
And on another level, like.
Yeah, I don't understand why they like we can get it without like having to really see it for as long as they
you know what's
hold
funny
on
is
screen.
right.
You know the scene I'm talking about with like in Gen V or just like when the girl shrinks down, right?
Yeah.
So there's a big scene with a very detailed penis, right? So what's funny is I think I made a YouTube video one time and I was like talking about how we're watching this show and I was like, man, this is a really weird scene. I was like, there's this whole like scene about this dick, and someone commented and goes like, yeah, like I think it's like one of his good friends or like his cousin or something was like, yeah, like someone I know is like the person who like he had to like graphically design that penis, and he's like the amount of research he had to do to find out like what a inside of a penis should look like is like he had to do some weird research to get the details on this like graphic design of like 3D model of this. I was like,
oh my God,
interesting job. But
yeah, that was
a really big dick talk right there. But great show.
Yeah. No, that's
great show.
His alter ego is after Homelander.
Homelander?
Well, okay, not really. Like I didn't.
He's the sickest supervillain of all time.
I'm not sick like that, but like, no, I do gym employee. I do skits, like comedy skits, and one of my main characters is the gym employee. I wear like a red polo, and I didn't set it up like this.
You're basically Homelander.
I'm like the gym employee version of Homelander. Because
it's the facial expressions.
It's my facial expressions. I like smile a lot and just like be condescending.
I watched a video on that actor, and it was like what he eats in a day or whatever. He's just going over, but he's in his like normal appearance, and he has like an accent. He's from somewhere else. Yep. But like, it's so funny because he's such like this like boss ass like alpha male in his character, and he's like such, not that he's not alpha, but it's like he's just like a whole different kind of like normal dude, but his character is like this polar opposite. Yeah. It's wild how. Like he does such a good job.
Plays it so well. Anthony Starr.
It's such a I mean, Homelander is like maybe one of the sickest characters like ever to come out.
Oh, wait till episode 4. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, you're gonna.
I basically watch like an episode a night, so I'll watch episode 3 tonight, and I love that. Like my favorite thing is like, so like tonight, you know, I'll get home, me and Taylor will walk our dog, get in the pool, make some dinner, watch a show, and it's like my favorite thing at night, and like I go back to is like I built my 20s, so my 30s I can not have to be like, oh, I need to do all this shit, and you know stuff always comes up where I'm always kind of on, but like now I make time for this special moment kind of at the end of the day of like, hey, from 7 to 9:30 is like my chill time, and I really like, and it's like important to me. And I think it like adds a lot of value into like what I'm doing in my life and helps everything else I'm doing.
Yeah, gotta protect the mental.
Yeah,
make sure
but like 3 years ago, with sour strips, I mean, I was like, 10 o'clock at night. Like you can't look at how I work and how I live my life now and think that's how I've always been able to do it.
Right.
So that's why it's like you got to put in the work to be able to kind of get to the point. And there's not like a timeline of how long it happens, but
that's awesome.
You got to balance. It's all about balance, because at the end of the day, you can make all this money, have all this success, have all these followers, but like balancing life and enjoying and the fruits of your labors and buying your Lambos maybe, and enjoying the hard work that you put in, and then hopefully I guess if it's your cup of tea, sharing all those experiences with someone as well is like a super cool thing. It's like a lot of times people look at my relationship with my fiance and be like, oh man, she struck the lottery, like they're going on these trips all the time. I was like, no, now I just like, it's stuff that I also want to do, and now I just get someone to do it with you. Like, I'm not going to go to Cancun by myself. Like, I'm not going to go to do these trips by myself. So now I have the opportunity to like go do cool shit with someone and share these experiences with someone. So it's cool.
It's a beautiful thing.
I know. I'm super sappy now. Yeah. I'm in my love era, man.
You feel like it's like the happiest you've ever been?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're like living in your prime.
Yeah, I 100%, 1,000%.
Do you ever just like stop and like like I just like, damn, I'm getting blind. Fuck you, son.
That's why you remain patient. Love that.
Yeah, no, I do take a lot of time to like kind of soak it all in and just also be like,
that's what I was.
Damn, like I, not in like a selfish way of I did it by myself, but like I was like, man, like my life's crazy. Like I've done a lot of cool shit, and even like my house that I have now. Like a lot of times it's like my first house, but a lot of times like I'll walk my dog and I'll like look at it and I'm just like, I can't believe like I picked up a camera 13 years ago and started filming my life of like deadlifts, and it just like it changed my whole life. It changed everything. And like my buddy Rob Lipset always says, another ghost athlete, he's always like, do this next time. Like next time you guys go do something fucking cool. It could be you go on a trip somewhere, maybe you're on a ghost takes you out somewhere, whether you be on a boat or like on a trip, and just kind of take a second and go, every decision that I have made in my life has gotten me to this point right here. Like the only reason I'm standing on this boat and having this cocktail in my hand, or I am able to buy my dream car, just like take a second and go, like everything I've ever done has led to this moment in time, and it's like all the work that I've done has been able to like look at my life, like look at like what I'm able to do and blessed to be able to do, and like, and then keep going, like keep working, and but it's then you got to take a second and appreciate where you've come, or how far you've come, and soak it in, and never get too cocky or think it's gonna be like that forever. I think you should have confidence, and but being humble and humility is a big thing.
Hell yeah.
Wise words. This is a wise man right here.
This might be the most philosophical I've ever gotten on a Potter.
I love that. No. But time just flew by. I think we should wrap things up because we do have a ghost dinner, and I know we held you for a while now.
It's all good. My bladder's about to blow.
Earlier you mentioned that you were a gamer, and we asked a lot of guests this question.
Yes.
Have you ever played Super Smash Bros?
GameCube only.
GameCube
OG.
only. That's fine.
That's OG.
Yeah.
Who's your character to go with?
Fox, actually.
Fox.
Yeah.
I could see that. It was Fox or Kirby.
Did we get Fox?
Big Fox guy. I would play as Fox. Who was the other person? Yeah, no, it was always Fox. Like Fox was like my go-to. Maybe Falco.
Yeah.
Who was yours?
Kirby.
Kirby?
I'm a Kirby guy.
So you just be like, and then like my friend would always play Kirby, and then just blow him off. Yeah, you shoot him off the edge.
Yeah.
That and I just drop on people.
Yeah. It's wild.
Such a
even like
sweat.
people would Yoshi and then just like poop me off the edge and like a little egg, and I'd be like, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, he's pretty.
You'd always have friends that were just good. Like I had friends that could whoop my ass with like ice climbers. Like it would just any character. You'd be like, pick any of this character, and they would just whoop your ass, and you're like, whenever you think you're really good, just like with I'm so strong, I'm so jacked. There's someone that's gonna come and beat your ass with the ice climbers.
Yeah.
And it's like y'all probably never choose the ice climbers. Like fuck the ice climbers.
Yeah.
if you know, you know. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
No, that's real, bro.
Love
That's
that.
an awesome way to exit the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
One last thing. CJ mentioned that.
What?
You want to give away some hydration?
Oh yeah, he said 10
He
cases.
said 10 cases.
Oh.
So
what do you
guys,
do? What do they got to comment something and then?
Let's do it because I think this is going to be our longest podcast yet. So guys, if you stay to the end, comment hydration, and we will be giving 10 random people a case of hydration.
You got to say something. You got to say a specific word they comment, so then you know that they got to this point. You know.
Ice climbers.
Ice climbers?
I don't know.
Yeah, throw in ice climbers. Just be like type a sentence and throw in ice climbers in there, so then they know you got to this point.
Yeah.
Say it, announce it.
Okay. If you want to win a case of Ghost Hydration, the best hydration in the world, kiwi strawberries might go to. Leave a comment. First of all, thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. They're going to check, make sure, okay? Tell your friends, tell your mama. And leave a comment down below using ice climbers some way. You could just comment ice climbers, kind of lame, kind of boring. Put in a sentence. 10 random people. Or maybe you type some super sick story about ice climbers, and then they'll choose the coolest ones.
That's good. That's good. That's why you stay to the end, guys.
Yes.
But I just want to say appreciate you giving us your time and being patient with us.
Absolutely, man. This is really cool.
Run us through the workout.
Yeah, no, seriously. This is awesome.
Anything you want to say? Anything you want to tell the audience?
Eat more sour strips.
There you go.
Maxx Chewning, ladies and gentlemen.
Out.
Hell yeah. Oh, that was awesome.